Hello and welcome to the fourth issue of the fractalforums.com news. This news is available in English, Spanish and German. And the administrator of the forums has been invited by the Universidad Autónoma in Mexico, Xochimilco, to give a speech about the inflictions of art and science. It was a 2-week-long trip, and before we show some images of the event, Christian asked me to read the following message. Muchas gracias, mi mexicana amigas y amigos, por las gran tiempo especialmente a Heinz, Fernández, Manolito, Raúl, Raimondo y Yareni. We do not have a full video of his speech at the conference, but we are going to show a short clip of it.
Okay. And here we see a real-life example of self-similarity. This Romanesco broccoli is made up of spirals.
What is art?
I wanted to have all the time. And this one is made of spirals, and the spirals are forming the whole object. Those spirals themselves are in a spiral pattern. If you start looking for self-similarity, you will find it everywhere. For example, trees, if you cut the top of the tree, it just looks like a smaller tree. Okay, and here we have the famous Mandelbulb set. It is one of the first fractals that was computer generated. How does the computer generate it? The computer actually draws all points on the complex number plane that do not diverge under iterating a certain formula. Excuse me for using that complicated expression. And what do you think of this small dot? Is it a fly or is it some dirt?
The speech was held in front of first-time semester students, and originally Christian was invited to talk about art and science. But he ended up giving an overall introduction to chaos theory. He introduced the students to the coastline of England problem and explained the fractal dimension. And the concept of self-similarity was shown with the help of a Romanesco broccoli. The classic Mandelbulb set then demonstrated the theoretical effects of self-similarity and the fractal dimension. And he gave as well examples for nowadays usage of chaos theory. One example was the fractal antenna, which is used in nowadays modern mobile phones. And since the invention of the fractal antenna, no more sticking out antennas are needed in mobile phones. And the other application he demonstrated to the students was the pacemaker technology that uses the fractal dimension to detect if a heartbeat becomes too regular, because a healthy human heartbeat is not regular but chaotic. And the students that wanted to find out more had the chance to visit a 1-week-long seminar held by Christian. And he started the seminar then with basic historical relevant 2D fractals, like the Sierpinski carpet and the Sierpinski triangle. By that has been introduced the concept of iteration, which can be seen as the source for, or the reason for, self-similarity. On the second day, Christian continued his seminar with an introduction to random number generation techniques, and he discussed why those techniques are relevant for rendering iterated function systems. And after that, he managed to introduce a concept of the complex multiplication and demonstrated that this multiplication is a rotation. And Christian introduced the Mandelbulb set and showed the different orbits a starting value can take when iterating this formula. He gave examples for the vast variety of paths a starting value can take. He gave examples for the diverging and the non-diverging starting points in the Mandelbulb set, and at the end of the second day he introduced the corresponding Julia sets which belong to each point in the complex number plane. And on the third day the students got to know the 3D triplex number system, and this system has been found by the fractalforums.com in 2008, and with this number system it was the first time possible to render a real 3D Mandelbulb candidate, and it was somehow the starting point for nowadays 3D fractal explosion. After that, Christian introduced the Mandelbox, the amazing Mandelbox, which has been found by Tom Lowe in the forums as well. And he showed why we call this structure a multifractal. Because it contains really much other fractals already introduced in the seminar, like the Sierpinski triangle, the Menger carpet, or tree structures. But many more structures could be found in the Mandelbox. And Christian reached his climax on the final day when he talked about his favorite topic, hybrid fractals. He spoke about the two main methods, the alternation and the interpolation modification of the iteration process. Examples for both methods were given. Here we see a fractal that is morphing into another by using the interpolation hybrid variant. For demonstrating the alternation method, Christian used two different fractals and showed the various ways of how they can be combined to the students. And this is it for the seminar, and the presentations are most likely to be published on the university website soon for you to review. All in all, it was a really awesome trip that inspired many new ideas. And for once it showed the necessity to make this forum accessible for non-English speakers. And furthermore, the University of Xochimilco would like to have an axolotl fractal rendered as a logo for their institute, and perhaps you can make this. Try to resemble an axolotl fractal for the university and let me know about it. And leaving Mexico, let's now come to the latest news of the fractalforums.com calendar, which is going to be from which 20 issues already have been sold, pre-sold. Although we did not reach our goal of pre-financing by reaching 30 pre-sales. But thanks to appcube.com, which is a professional software development studio that is supporting our case. And thank you for that. The calendar is going to print this week. And this year's calendar contains artwork from 10 different countries. And check out the link below. and order one before they are sold out again, because we have really low margins. So, but the good news don't stop here. The next year's competition, for the next year's fractalforums.com annual competition, we are going to cooperate with a German computer party called Evoke. The winners of the annual competition will be announced there on stage. This possibility was opened to us by the remarkable work of our ambassador, the entity. How he exactly did that, we don't know. Only this video footage is available and gives a hint on what was going on there, but he obviously seemed to leave an impression, not only due to his golden shirt. And now we come to the latest developments in the world of fractals beyond the forums. Eric Wenger, the programmer of the famous landscape rendering program Bryce, has registered to the forums, and he informed us about his current project. He's working on a GPU-optimized real-time 3D fractal editor and animation program. Out of gratitude for the community, he has announced to share his rendering technique with the forums. And next to mention is the first NetRender-enabled 3D fractal rendering program. Mandelbulber, in its most recent version, has a built-in net rendering feature. This is very remarkable because up to now, no real networking solution for 3D fractals was available. Right now, it is just working under Linux, but the Windows port is currently worked on and will be available shortly. We will give you information on that later. And the last topic for today is about the Orbittrap.ca site, the Canadian fractal art review site, and as we have announced in our first issue of the news, it went offline this year. But hooray! It is online again. And his new slogan, a kinder, gentler fractal block, did not exactly apply to this year's calendar review, but who are we to judge our critics? And that's it for this issue, and thank you very much. And oh, what do I have here? We have some breaking news again. And just let me check the news. And yes, it is again about the latest developments in the search for the Holy Grail fractal. And just let me check if we have some new information. They have rendered new tryouts in the forums, yes. And just let me check. No, we don't have the Holy Grail, fractal Grail yet, the real 3D Mandelbulb. But we are going to keep you informed about this in next issues. That's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.